Welcome back to our last game of the night. It's going to be Pain versus Dream Destroyers. Game number 2. Pain taking game number 1 pretty damn convincingly. So the very first win for the Brazilians in their very first game of the Dota 2 Champions League. Dream Destroyers, meanwhile, are on their 3rd loss in 3 games. So hopefully things turn around for them soon because it's not looking so hot. Let me go ahead and welcome in my co-caster. That's right, I do have a co-caster who will hopefully be able to spare me from having to talk as much. Pandago. What's up, buddy?
Hey, hope I can help out so you don't die.
Yeah, yesterday was not a very good day. It was like a 19-hour plus day, and apparently coming back today a little bit early to cover for Toby just kind of didn't give me enough time to recover. My throat is currently shot.
Well, I'll try and do a lot of talking then.
Excellent.
I can at least cover you for the draft.
Sweet.
That's my specialty. It looks like Ping Gaming did not want to play again because I watched some of the last game. I didn't catch the whole thing, but I saw like the second half of it, and Death Prophet appeared to be a problem as she usually is, and they sort of just snowballed off the Death Prophet and won the game.
Yep.
So Ping Gaming does not want to deal with that this game. They banned that out. Pretty standard bans and picks. Dream Destroyers is going for the more push like oriented lineup at this phase of the game. A really strong chance that's a core Jakiro, core Pugna, I believe, and they're just going to go for like an all-in type push thing. But they could still change it up. I mean, that's the power of a Jakiro, is they could sort of pick a like better farmer and sacrifice some of their push potential a little bit if they feel like they're not going to be able to end the game as quickly.
Did you perchance see the games from earlier when we were doing the ESL 1 matches?
I watched some of them.
Okay.
I sort of like was around and sort of catch like I saw the last Team Tinker game.
Yeah.
And
Did you see the game where we had an off-lane Jakiro?
I did not see that one.
Yeah, so Cloud9 ran a off-lane Jakiro. I believe it was Cloud9. So an off-lane Jakiro that proved to be decently successful. The problem was he was dealing with silencer support, and they were actually doing pretty well. It's just they ended up losing the late game because they were up against so much strong team fight. It was a silencer who ended up getting, as I put it, they ended up getting silencered. It was pretty much the only thing, is that the support silencer ended up getting Aghanims and then a refresher, and that late into the game with those kind of items and that kind of unstoppable team fight, because they also had an Enigma and a Doom and a yeah, it was just like the kind of crazy amount of big team fight ultimates.
I think I saw the very end of that game actually. Yeah. But I mean, the offlane Jakiro could work out. It would probably have trouble against a Venomancer, assuming that's a support Venomancer, because he can just like trade hits with you, and then every time you get a liquid fire on him, he should be getting up his like poison sting on you. So it's not going to be super great. Also, like a hero like Skyrath would probably destroy an offlane Jakiro, but if you're against a pretty greedy dual lane, or maybe even like a super greedy tri lane, you might be able to run that. Yeah. The problem is you also like you're not going to get as many levels, and that hero is really level dependent, more so than gold in the early game. And if you do get shut down in the offlane, that hero is going to be super worthless. So
yeah, Bone7, if I recall, he played it very aggressively because he was just dealing with the dual lane, but he was trying to basically fight the silencer as much as he could, and then he would go kill himself in the neutrals, and then he would just go right back in. And eventually the silencer would like start running out of regen, and Bone7 just kind of like bullied his way into getting experience that way. He was pretty heavily shut down, but he got to at least level 5 in a decent amount of time, and then they were able to just push down some towers from there. So
yeah, that could work out.
Yeah, I'm not sure how viable it is, but in this game, I don't think Dream Destroyers are going to be going for that. It looks like
they
a
got
support.
rid of the silencer though, so they're good to go now.
Yep.
The silencer, that's kind of an interesting ban actually, because I don't think it really does too much against their heroes, but it's actually pretty good for them against most of the Ping Gaming. Ping Gaming is going Bristleback, which is a pretty standard hero for them and a lot of South American teams. He gives them really strong early game like team fight, and he's one of the heroes that's able to actually kind of run into that lineup and not just immediately get blown up by all their magic damage. So I think this is going to be a support Jakiro game, and they're just going to pick an offlaner here, and it's just going to be like either Pugna mid or Pugna bot, and then Naga in mid or bot. I would think they would want to put.
5 seconds.
Against
tough,
offlane
right?
Centaur, yeah, it's kind of hard decision. I think Naga could do fine against Invoker mid, and they could put the Pugna bottom, and that would give them a lot more pressure on that tier 1 early,
Yeah.
and sort of force Pin Gaming to make something happen earlier in the game. Because if they just let Pin Gaming like farm, the game could be pretty difficult for them. I'll also be interested to see if Pin Gaming does a safe lane Centaur or a safe lane Bristleback, because I feel like getting a fast blink on Centaur is probably more valuable than letting a Bristleback have free farm. All right, they do pick Rubik, so that would be a core Jakiro.
Yeah, if we were, the Chinese scene have been picking up the Bristleback quite a lot as well, though they have actually a lot of times been prioritizing the Centaur and going a one-position Centaur, and that looks like what it's going to be here as well. Klotz is going to be, I believe he's the off-lane player, King RT is the carry. So one position, Centaur, Venomancer behind him. That makes a pretty dangerous off lane for Bloody Knight, off lane Jakiro.
Yeah.
They must have watched those games earlier, man. That is the only way they run an off lane Jakiro. That is the only way. Because I'm looking at him, it's like the first time I saw that, I was just like, what?
I feel like that's a really strong dual lane against the Jakiro though, because once Venomancer gets level 2, like I said, so Venomancer can sort of effectively trade with Jakiro, even if he's doing the thing where he trades Liquid Fire and then suicides.
Right.
And then if the Venomancer like lands a Gale once he's level 2 and Centaur is level 3, that's a dead Jakiro, assuming he's moderately out of position. I mean, if he Gales him and he's really far away, it won't kill him. But
what about an aggro try? Do you think that's possible here for DD?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Very.
For battle.
I mean,
probably more
anytime there's an
likely.
Enigma, there's a very high chance of an aggro tri-lane. At the very least, you want to try and ward up his jungle. If you can't do that, then aggro tri-laning and like sort of applying a lot of pressure to the other lanes can work as well. The only problem for them though is I don't feel like their lanes are super strong. Like none of their lanes are really that strong. So even if Dream Destroyers goes aggressive, I don't think like mid or bot are gonna just win their lanes out. And going aggressive and letting your other two lanes just go even isn't always gonna pan out if you're not getting the kills, which I mean, they could kill with their tri-lane. It just depends on which one they run, like who they put as the core in their tri-lane.
Right. So the smoke up invasion into the enemy jungle. Pain are trying to defend their jungle. They're actually...
King RD might be in trouble right here.
Yeah, King RD is going to be caught out. Telekinesis, concussive shot, and
they
Ice
missed those
Path
guys.
will miss. Hoof Stomp still catches out one or two. They still have enough heroes to be able to catch him out. So King RD, oh my god, he's not going to die. Justin, he went for the Riptide. Can he actually get in range of enough right clicks? Oh my god,
He
they
would have
actually
Galed
get
it
it.
sooner. I think he hesitated because Ned thought he was going to live, and if he would have like done it a little bit sooner instead of like running away with him, he could have saved him for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, they would have still invested the salve to keep him alive. At that point, it might just be better letting him die.
The battle begins.
That was a really delayed smoke ink though, and if that would have failed, that would have been like it's still not even that good for them because they're not going to get blocks on their lanes. So
Yeah.
it wasn't even that worth it. And they're also going to give like a free creep wave, at least one free creep wave to bot lane. Actually, no. Bloody Nine's going to make it down there. So they are running the Pugna aggressive tri-lane with the Skyrath and Rubik kind of roaming. He did just pick up a haste rune too. This could be big trouble for Ned. He doesn't have Gale.
Yeah, with
He needs to just book it.
Fanny coming in.
Slowest hero ever.
Telekinesis.
Should be dead.
Yeah, he's just going to get right-click down. Fanny looking to try and body block him a little bit. It's very hard with the haste rune, and it won't really matter. Still gets the kill. And 2-0 already for Dream Destroyers. Great start for them. They are going to be running the Enigma in the enemy jungle, though. And that is probably the best possible thing they can do. The camps have been blocked out. They might actually be able to get an early kill on Bloody Nine if Bristleback goes for a more aggressive build. In fact, he already has the level of Viscous Nasal Goo. So, like, level 3, they can actually get some kill potential against this Jakiro now.
Yeah. He does have a magic stick already though, so if the Bristleback does any sort of like early spell usage and sets him up with some charges, it's going to be a really hard kill. I think if they keep him at 0 charges, he might be able to.
Yeah, he's a hero that is already pretty naturally tanky. You give him some like free 10 magic wand charges before the gank. Yeah, that's going to be tough.
So far, the aggressive tri-lane is definitely working out though. Those 2 kills were pretty huge. Obviously, they were kind of lucky because that's like that really late smoke gank. If Centaur would have already been in lane blocking, or if he would have been like at the tower already and they didn't get that kill, like they would have been shut down super hard and they would have wasted a smoke for it. And then the haste rune obviously was just like extra, a little extra luck to add on to their previous skill, because that Venomancer would have been fine without that.
The mid lane matchup, Naga Siren versus the Invoker, seems to be doing pretty well for Justin. He's going to be harassed, and as this lane gets to like level 5 for the Invoker, it gets a lot more dangerous, but still. Justin should be doing all right. Enigma looking for a rotation here in the bottom lane. Klotz has already taken a bit of damage, starts manning up against Bloody 9. The rotation's going to be a bit slow here from Baga, but they might still have enough. The Malphite is going to come in. They really need to stack this damage a bit more. And nice use of the Ice Path, but Bloody 9. Oh, God, they didn't go for it. The Magic Wand. Oh, Klotz, he had that kill. Now Baga instead is going to be the pickoff, as the Dual Breath is going to be used on Baga. Now Klotz is so far out of mana, he can't actually threaten the Rubik in any way, and that's a real big problem with the Bristleback, is once you go for the kill, and if you miss it, you're screwed out for the rest of the lane because you don't have mana. You need a full mana pool if you want to be able to get that kill.
Yeah, and now he doesn't have Bristle, like his passive Bristleback in order to protect him from harass, so he's going to take a lot of damage in lane, especially against a Jakiro, who's going to do a lot of damage to him even if he has Bristleback.
Yeah.
The nice thing is Enigma can rotate to the jungle now. The Sentry Ward still is going to block one more, but it will spawn on the 4-minute. Actually, it's going to block one more even. It has 52 seconds left on it.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Or it's going to be really close actually. It's like on the second mark. So we'll see if that one blocks another one, but that could make a big difference for the Enigma.
King RD. Nah.
Yeah, he's fine. So they rotated into these dual lanes now, because they feel like they got enough out of their aggressive trial already, and they don't want to they need to sort of keep pressure all around the map. And the Enigma is going to have a hard time doing this jungle until he's pinging out that both his camps are blocked right now, and he can't really go back into the Radiant jungle because of the Rubik rotation, so
yeah.
This is a good way to shut down Enigma. This is about as bad a game that the Enigma could have as possible.
It really is. Still level 3 by 4 minutes in, where many Enigmas would be like level 4, possibly even level 5. See Chobo having some issues right now, is not going to be able to protect that Illusion Rune. Forge Spirit will kill it. And the counter ward is actually going to survive, because our Skywrath Mage, he can't see the ward anymore because his counter ward does, and his counter ward wasn't revealing the Observer ward. That's why I was so confused. I was like, why isn't he going for the Observer ward? Well, I'm distracted by that nonsense. We did have a kill in the bottom lane where Bristleback and does go down to the Jakiro and Rubik.
And he picks up Power Trips first, which is pretty interesting. Definitely, you usually see Jakiros go straight into mech.
Or an early phase.
Arcanes. Yeah, really? I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I've been seeing that a lot, and it just gives them so much lane presence against that enemy hero that Jakiro just beats anybody at that point.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. But, I mean, it doesn't make him very, very difficult to kill now. I mean, he can play super aggressively because I think he would be smart to pick up a TP, because without, a rotation from basically the...
Justin, oh god, his illusion actually put him back into the ice wall, but he'll still be able to get out, thankfully, and bottle back up. 40R almost had a kill there.
I missed that. I just thought you were going, because of top. King RD was actually in trouble, but he managed to get away because... They just lack they really lack the killing power top. Unless unless someone on Pain, either King RD or Ned, overextends, it's gonna be hard for them to kill someone.
Did they actually get the Decrepify Mystic? Because that's a big advantage of this double lane, is that you've got so much extra magic damage from your Pugna Blast between these two heroes. The Ancient Seal giving you an extra 30% damage plus the extra 50% from Decrepify. And it's almost doubling your Pugna Blast, which is already a super powerful nuke. King RD is getting a bit low here and cannot continue to go for MJW, and Ned is going to be taking a lot of damage. In fact, he may die here if MJW is able to get another Decrepify, but that's why the Bristleback is coming in from the side. Blast goes off, Ned will die, MJW will give up his life in return, so it's worth it at the end for Pain. But it also cost a Bristleback rotation, which is really odd. You can't really blame the Pugna for not expecting that one, because it's not really the rotation you're expecting to be seeing.
They actually just got rid of this ward as he was running through too, so yeah, that was kind of unfortunate. But this bottom tower is gonna go down as a result of that Bristleback rotation. So I'm sure that Dream Destroyer is pretty okay with that trade-off.
Yeah, Fanny's actually moving forward, trying to get close enough for its telekinesis.
Klotz is in big trouble top.
Yeah, he's going to be able to get him.
Go down.
Ned is going to get popped. Top lane, Klotz running into the Riptide of the Illusions. Almost dies just from that. and should be able to get himself out as the Illusions won't be able to catch up with him. So 6-1, Dream Destroyer's taken already some early towers ahead in kills, and you can see the gold lead is just climbing dramatically here. So Dream Destroyers, we're pulling out a much different game than game 1 was.
Mid is getting ganked right here. They have Stampede.
King RD is going to be able to hit the stun, follow up the double edge, and trying to finish off Justin, and the telekinesis goes back. Justin barely living through that. King RD will just barely survive, and Fanny also getting very low.
I think Forwarded DR had one more volley from both his hero and his Force Spear right there, and the telekinesis drop actually canceled both of them, so it would have been really close though. Klotz is in trouble again a little bit.
Yeah,
Pugna is actually great against Dresslevac with Drain if you have it up, like, and it's still a short cooldown even without the Ags. Baga's in big trouble. He should.
Yeah,
Oh, wow,
Jesus,
that was actually like one shot.
Yeah, that like so I was talking about, man. The 320 damage, 25 damage nuke turns into it turns into what, 500 and some damage.
Man, this is crazy. And, like, Bloody Knight's just been left to his own device's bottom. Pain can't really do anything about it. He got the tier 2 already and picked up a kill on Venomancer because Venomancer was sticking around at like 10 HP and being really greedy and trying to get wards up, but he just got Ice Path and died.
Yeah, now the tier 1 tower will go top,
Yeah,
go down top.
This is the
they
type
got the
of
Bristleback.
snowball that the current meta is just like, it's going to be so hard for them to deal with it once they get their core items and just start 5-manning. They have mech on Pugna. Jakiro has a Veil of Discord already, so if you feel like they don't have enough magic damage with Decrep and Ancient Seal, you know, add in an extra 25%.
105% magic damage increase now.
The double damage for magic.
That's insane. So can't say I've ever seen that before. That the Veil of Discord being picked up.
40 hours being dove mid. They do have Stampede to protect him though. Very strong counter to Skyrath, but he doesn't even need to use it. TP rotation from Ned. Holding this tier 1 mid is actually really important for Pain right now, because I feel like if they give up this this tower, it's just going to give Dream Destroyers way too much room to control the map. I mean, at this point, it's still really difficult for them. Naga has a Ring of Aquila, drums, a bottle, and I'm assuming he's just going to farm a Radiance now, and they can't really stop him. King RD getting caught out here. He should die.
Yep. Drain.
When you give your Centaur like a safe lane farm like that, and you don't they go aggressive, and you don't have a lane that can compete. I mean, that hero without a blink is very weak. I mean, we've seen it in the off lane before, but it's even worse when you sacrifice your safe lane and he can't do anything.
Yeah, it's pretty tragic right now for Pain Gaming. They really needed that stun because it's the only way they can really deal with the Pugna too. Like they have no really jumping stuns, missiles, nukes, like nothing that can actually catch out the Pugna. Your support is a damage over time slow with Venomancer. Pugna doesn't care about that. And the other one is the Enigma, who is Malphus is nice and Black Hole is pretty awesome, but it's not really something that deals well with the Pugna. So in the end, they just left with the Centaur's initiation, but that was so shut down by the aggro try.
And the only thing Pain really has going for them at this point for initiation is Stampede and running at them, but like Dream Destroyer's lineup counters that so hard. And there's more than one hero that counters it too. They have Ice Path from Jakiro to stop Stampede. They have Sleep. They have Decrep if they use it after the magic damage. They have a mech. They have Telekinesis. I mean, pretty much all their heroes are actually just great against that type of Centaur run at you lineup.
Yeah.
And Pain cannot really handle the pushing power of Dream Destroyers either, so there's just not much they can do. They can't gank. Yeah.
Look at that damage.
It's pretty good.
Fanny was even able to steal Forge Spirits, which is a pretty awesome pushing spell for a Rubik to have. So that's going to help out quite a bit.
Especially since it's double Forge Spirits and you just got it.
Yeah. So it looks like they're going to go for a push on the top lane at the same time as MGW goes for the push here in the middle lane. Pain are trying to do a trade-off here by pushing in bottom, but teleports come in. Ice Path completely wafted there from Bloody Knight. But they may still be able to get a good engagement here. Macro Pie burning away Klotz with the telekinesis on top of that. Look at that damage. Stampede goes out. Klotz able to get enough distance there. The Urn, I'm not sure if him standing there was the right idea to teleport away. Middle lane, though, we do have King RD as well as the Enigma getting very low. The last nuke will finish off the Enigma. And Justin says hello to King RD and is going to Riptide splash him. Hoof Stomp is going to stop for the time being. Chobo actually doesn't quite have enough mana for anything significant. He's just going to silence up 40R, but will lose his life, as the silence after all the abilities of Throner is kind of not really that helpful, and Fanny steals an Ice Wall.
Radiant's middle tower
Yep,
is
just
under
throws it
attack.
down.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I don't think Pain is going to be able to get this mid tower either, so... I mean, Dream Destroyers has been doing a great job at split pushing while also keeping all their towers alive. And, I mean, that's just a result of Pain really not having... The heroes that allow them to pressure towers, which is Enigma, Venomancer... I mean, all the heroes give them decent tower pressure, but they have to get kills or, like, you know, have space to do so. And they've all been so behind, they're just not able to, like, get the ball rolling. So they can't team fight, they can't really make pickoffs because they don't have their Blink Daggers. They almost have Blink Dagger on Centaur, which will maybe be a game changer, we'll see. It'd require a pretty big mistake from Dream Destroyers as a team, but if they get like a huge, you know, triple like Centaur stomp into Black Hole or something, they could turn this around.
Yeah. The courier was picked up inside
What
of...
was that?
I have no idea how that died.
Ned might be getting dope mid. We'll see if they like fully commit for this. I think he can get the Ice Path into lift. No.
Telekinesis not quite in range. Justin's
Justin's
pinging
pinging himself like crazy, yeah.
That's because it's his bottle, and is it? I don't even understand how the courier died. I still don't get it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
But either way, MJW is going to be in no trouble whatsoever because he's actually almost killing King RD. The Urn will
He's
take him
gonna
out.
die to Urn.
That's just enough damage to finish him off. And MJW, I mean, this is the problem. The Centaur can no longer pop the Pugna. And if you can't pop the Pugna will then just live through with a mech and then turn around and just life drain you down. And Klotz is also going to get picked off here as the Telekinesis is a great holding ability for that Macro Pyre to do its work. And they don't even need Chobo at this point. He just farms
This is a
up
pretty
the
good
top
draft
lane.
from Dream Destroyers. I mean, they have, as long as they can get the snowball going early, they have really strong early game and really strong pushing, and then they just have a Naga to back them up. They're just letting Naga free farm now, and now they're so ahead that Naga doesn't even need to participate in the fights. I mean, keeping like a TP scroll maybe to TP and, you know, sleep to stop a bad team fight would be good, but he's basically just free farming Radiance. He has a bunch of towers to give him that extra money. So he's going to have a pretty fast Radiance time, even though he bought drums and a bottle and a ring of Aquila.
Yule's Scepter is going to be picked up by the Jakiro. It's his next item. Really hope he goes for the Blink Dagger after that. That proved to be really successful for Bone 7. He went for Yule's, early Yule's, into a Blink, into a Scythe of Ice. And Jakiro all of a sudden became an Initiator. That was...
Yeah,
really
and it's
good.
a really tanky Initiator that, like, if you go on, you're just going to have probably troubles winning that team fight, even if you kill him, because he sort of served his purpose and he can tank a lot even if he gets caught out without casting his spells. I definitely have been surprised that you don't see more Jakiros getting like a Scythe of Ice, because if you do go the Yules, even if you don't have the Blink, if you Yules an Ice Path and a Sheep, that is a lot of control just for one hero to have on a single target.
Yeah. And it also means your Macro Pyre actually has time to do work without depending on other people's disables. Which is always nice. Rubik's going to grab
has
a
a
Blink
Blink.
Dagger. Yeah,
He has Hoof Stomp too.
yeah.
He's got the combo at the same time as Centaur.
Speaking of Centaur, they're going to go for Justin here. Justin,
He does have sleep. They need to
Black
focus
Hole.
on him.
So, what? What?
That had 3,600 gold on it apparently too. That must have been an Invoker.
Necronomicon
Necrobook?
with a mech recipe as well. So,
Holy moly.
yeah,
They
that
thought it
ain't
was
good.
bad when Radiant lost their courier. They just got theirs back. Yeah. Nope. That's really bad. But then again, I don't think who killed that? I missed that one too. I didn't like. Was it a? It must have been.
I don't understand. Couriers are just dying without. I guess the illusions maybe killed it somehow. I don't know.
They're pinging up the courier right now. That one has a Yules and it's about to have a relic. Oh, never mind.
40R gets caught by the telekinesis. Okay. Slight bit of miscommunication between Chobo and Fanny. Should still be able to pick up the kill, though. So, missing the Skywrath Mage ultimate. Not that big of a deal. Venomancer are going to be burned out here in the middle lane, as that Pugna Blast is doing some serious work. And Klotz is very far forward, doesn't realize he's not going to be able to kill Bloody Nine. And in fact, he may lose his life here. NJW, last right click, burn, and he got him with the quills going off. So well done, Bristleback. Ends up killing himself.
Dire's middle tower.
It's not too much you can do at this point. I mean, that hero as a last pick was kind of like really, kind of weird, just because
Dire's middle tower.
if Dream Destroyers got a good lead going and was able to, you know, get their levels up, there's no way that Pain is going to be able to run into that lineup and engage at them.
Yeah.
And Bristleback isn't like really a strong laner, so they sort of gave them like a free lane in a sense. I guess they just did not expect the aggressive tri lane at all. Like, I think they were thrown for a loop by the lanes. But when you pick an Enigma, you should really, I mean, if you're playing against a team that knows what they're doing, you should expect them to respond appropriately. Like, they're not just going to let the Enigma do whatever he wants.
Right.
At the very least, they're going to block him out, and then if they do a defensive tri lane, your Enigma is going to be left to do like the Zai Ancient pull, because he won't be able to go into the jungle if there's two supports there.
I was just talking to Zai about the ancient pull. Didn't sound like he has very much fun with that.
Yeah, it's not optimal by any means, but if you're like, that's all you can do, that's all you can do.
Yeah, definitely.
Radiance on Naga, just at the base. And yeah, I mean, now their pushing is going to be crazy. They're going to have Naga to push out the lanes. Obviously, he doesn't really have a lot of HP on his illusions yet, so it's going to be harder, but once he gets that HP, they just keep the lanes pushed in with Naga illusions, and anytime they have a tower available, they just like liquid fire and Pugna blast it, and it'll die in 2 seconds.
Yeah, this is going to prove to be painful for Pain. They have to survive for like 15 minutes of this, at the very least. If they want to try and have some sort of comeback. 40R, the Macro Pyre, well, the Veil Discord goes out a little bit late. 40R will still be able to survive. The damage over time is pretty insane. And he will be able to Ghost Walk, teleport himself away.
They're going to have to get up this tower for that.
Yep.
Which at this point is definitely the right choice. I mean, they still have Naga Sleep, they have everything. They can't contest this.
Soon going to be Aghanim's for the Pugna. At least we almost have a Necrobook 3 for 40R, but
Dire's top tower
it's
has
a
fallen.
ways away still.
Yeah, and I mean, even once he gets that, typically Invoker, if he goes for that item, it's so he can split push effectively, but he's not going to be able to really split push at all. He's not going to be able to leave the base.
Yeah,
So
not
it'll just help
against
them
the
keep
Naga
the base
Siren.
pushed out a little bit. But, oh, they stole Venomous rewards too.
Yeah.
So they have that added push power. They might just, they're going to like just siege us down probably with Venom words and like let Justin split push the other lanes.
Radiant's bottom tower
Yeah, bottom lane push is coming out from Baga. He will get his mech now the courier is no longer dead. And almost has his BKB as well. He just needs the recipe. And Bloody Nine was forced back to defend this lane. They do kind of need a Boots of Travel, but that will eventually come from the Naga Siren. And then, as you said, split push just really isn't an option for Pain after that. As the Naga Siren will easily contest you in split pushing, as she is like the split push hero.
Looks like they're pinging out Jakiro. They're going to try and get a pick here and maybe take the tier 2 off of it. They're going to run right into this Skyrad, so they might have to change targets.
Yep, they do get off the stun on Chobo and will be able to get the kills, so nicely done. I was actually thinking Chobo was going to be able to grab the invis and then pop the smoke without any
He
retribution.
could have, but they didn't have any detection, right? Yeah, I mean, if he would have gone that invis, it's because I think he saw it, like, he checked it with his body, and then he's like, oh, it's invis, does anyone want this rune? And like, yeah, save it for me, and then he just died.
Yeah.
So that's why if you're doing that, you still want to be ready to pick it up immediately, because you never know when someone's going to jump you, especially if you don't have vision around the map, which they didn't see anyone in the jungle. Bloody Nine goes up to check Roshan.
Okay. Nope, Justin. He was about to use the ultimate there. Held on to it for the time being. Buyback has already come out. King RD fighting up against Fanny. Now the ultimate goes out. Roshan is sitting at
It's not low
3,800
enough,
health.
though. Yeah.
Justin goes, that is not what I want to be doing.
They should just try and finish this like they're doing right now, and then before the fight starts, if they can get this Aegis, they have a good chance of taking this fight.
Yeah, Fanny, the Centaur is actually going to be wiped out. The rest of them are slowed down by the Ice Wall. Nicely placed by the Invoker. Klotz will grab the Aegis now. And the rest of them just trying to get out. Ned's going to be burnt out by this Radiance. The rest of Pain, though, do get out. Centaur bought back. Invoker did die farther in. So they still lost 3 heroes and had to buy back on one of them. And probably the other 2, as it looks like this is going to be a push-in from Dream Destroyers.
Dire's
But
top
they do have an
tower is
Aegis
under
for the
attack.
next fight, at least.
Yeah, on the bristleback, which is good because now he can actually run to the enemy team, you know, without being too concerned about just dying to the magic damage. And he is actually building what looks to be a pipe. which is kind of scary for them. But I think they need something like that because they're going to need to be able to fight at this phase of the game. They can't try and build items that'll help them later. They need stuff to help them now, and then hope that they can just win like continuous team fights off of those items and then start farming later.
Pipe and BKB are a similar amount of gold. You don't like the BK. I mean, no, I know obviously it helps out the rest of the team, but you don't think a BKB would be better for the Bristleback?
I think at this phase of the game, the pipe is probably better, honestly, because they have like Enigma and they have Invoker summons. So between the Necro Book and all the Forge Spirits and stuff, having that magic or absorption on them could actually be really huge in a team fight against like the sort of AoE nukes that Dream Destroyers has. They need to have those summons up to be able to take a fight, or else they don't really have the damage to do any sort of take a big fight, unless of course they get a huge like black hole midnight pulse or something.
Massive gank.
Should lose this Aegis, which is pretty bad.
2-man gank on both sides. 2 from the lane, 2 from the secret shop at the same time. Pincer move against Klotz. Now he's going to try and turn this around. He immediately goes for the ward that is so obnoxious in team fights. Doesn't look like Dream Destroyers are going to be caught though. And Pain, well, they're just left to defend their base up against a Naga Siren split push Radiance. At least they get the tier 2 in the bottom lane. 40R is really going for it. Stampede goes off, and they want to fight this, but what are they really going to be going on? Looks like Centaur found Bloody 9. Not quite so sure that's the fight they want, and the Bristleback as well as Vanamancer try and chase down MJW, but run into some support and end up getting blown up. Klotz is being chased away. Sunstrike goes out, 40R misses that one, also completely whiffs the Meteor at the same time. On the left side, we do have King RD, hits a hoof stomp, but he'll go down as Chobo's able to finish him off. Klotz continues to keep on going here, BKB activated by the Enigma, but has no black hole to be able to use, and that BKB being on cooldown is actually going to be a pretty big deal later on. Justin goes back to the base to be able to defend this bottom Raxing here, but he'll just push out this bottom lane. I can't believe they haven't put more attention to this bottom lane being pushed out, as Pain just keep on split pushing it over and over again.
Yeah, and they can do it with basically just a Naga illusion. The thing is, the Naga's been like camped out in the dire jungle for most of the game, so he hasn't really been able to do it effectively. But he's got to be the one to do it. Yeah, because he has the boost of travel.
Yeah, that way he can still push out the bottom lane and be there with the rest of his team for the fight.
I wonder if Jakira's going for a Heaven's Halberd or a BKB. I would guess BKB. I suppose that could be too. There's a lot of choices. We'll know pretty soon though, because he's close to all of them, regardless of what he gets.
Yeah, I mean, look, just sure. You don't normally go the Ogre Club if you're going to go for an Aghanim, so I don't actually think that's going to be the item. But just think about it. You've got a Veil Discord. You've got Decrepify. You've got this Ancient Seal. 105% extra damage from this magic source with the Aghanim's upgrade. And is a huge amount of damage per second. 225 damage per second. Goes up to 450 damage.
They have Stampede though. Black Hole is up.
Oh.
BKB is also up.
Baga comes in looking for the Black Hole. Only going to lock down one. Okay, just gets MJW. Fair enough. Oh, and the counter Black Hole. Fanny with the big play. Is going to be able to hold in 3. The Ice Path over the top. Now the Dual Breath on all 3 of them. And 40R comes in. They still don't actually have enough damage here. Justin will pop his ultimate. And I guess they're going to wait for a secondary Ice Path into a Dual Breath with the Riptide over the top. That means both Baga and our Centaur will burn out. 40R also probably going to go down as the right clicks from Bloody 9 finish him off. Fanny pushes back Klotz there. Fanny pulling out some serious plays here. Telekinesis, and they will be able to take him down. At the same time, Naga Siren, I think, killed herself by killing a Necronomicon minion.
Yeah, probably due to Radiance, though. I don't think he was like auto-attacking it.
Yeah.
But I mean, Jakira's still gonna be able to push. Like that's the great thing about this hero. Even though that fight went pretty decent for Pain, honestly, all things considered, how behind they are, he just walks up and liquefies the tower now. He's gonna force a fortify, get at least the tower. Probably, they could potentially kill the range Jax out here if they want, maybe, or at the very least get some damage on it. I don't think they should go for the melee. Or maybe they could, especially if he does steal Venom Words out here. That'd help a lot.
Yeah, the range track's already down to 4-staff forward. Ned really wants to take this fight. BKB activated by Bloody 9, though, and he'll just back himself away, no problem.
I got a blink coming, and he doesn't have a TP scroll. This would be potential chase. He's so tanky, though.
Yeah, another 4-staff comes out from an ally, and Ned is actually going to be going down MJW, turning this fight around. Now going to go for Baga next. BKB going to be forced to be used here. King RD ensnared up now. Justin's going to be joining the fight here. Baga's just going to run away. I don't think this fight is going to go well for Pain. They do have MJW taken down there thanks to the Ice Wall plus the Necronomicon focusing him down. Fanny may be losing his life for the first time in this game. Force staff forward, but not going to get it. Nice little hoof stomp, turns around, but that is beyond godlike Rubik, just feeding away 1,344 gold to Bristleback.
I'm sure he's happy about that.
Yep. Very, very happy.
But still, I mean, they got the range racks. And Bristleback isn't really, like, I guess he is close to getting another item now because of that, but before that, he wasn't really close to getting another item. He's diving very hard on mid.
Yes,
but he's
he
not
is.
really in any danger, I don't think, as long as he doesn't do anything too crazy.
Yeah, but especially nice
nice
Fuel Scepter usage there. The dodges, the hoof stomp, and the constant force staff just going back and forth.
From
Pain.
Rubik.
Yeah, he
Does
really
have
wants to
macro
kill.
fire? He does not.
Klotz is going to be able to take a lot of this damage. In fact, he has a pipe coming up here very soon. And I don't think they'll be able to kill him. Pipe. Just make sure here, Klotz. All right, could use the pipe. I don't know. 70 health left. King RD is actually gets his Stampede stolen here. They're going to try and chase down Bladed 9. He's going to go for the Invoker now and will try and burn him out. 40R getting low. Justin, meanwhile, coming in from the side is going to go for 40R, and he will be right-click down. Triple kill for Justin as he gets a whole bunch of cleanup.
Yeah, that about wraps that up.
Yeah, I think so too.
They should have been happy just getting the tier 1, and they stayed too long. I mean, I don't know why the Bristleback was going so overextended so much. I mean, I guess they weren't afraid, but you should be kind of like anticipate the buyback from the Rubik there because he has so much farm. I mean, he's 10-1, and they have all these towers. It was just a little bit too eager from Pain to push up ahead and think of getting killed. Especially they keep going on this Shakiro, which, I mean, he has a lot of armor. He's got a BKB, a Yules. They have 4 staffs to help him if he gets caught. They have one on Skarath, and they have one on, oh, they have one on Pugna too. They got 3. Holy cow. Yeah, that's, like, overcommitting is gonna spell doom for Pain, even if they think they can get the kills.
Yeah.
Bloody Nine's running out with the Haste Rune in mid here. Probably not in any danger.
Yeah, he's just clowning on Pain at this point. And what does our Nagasiren have? Diffusal. So, kind of thought, okay, I've been seeing this a lot. It used to be the same build all the time. Radiance, Boots of Travel, Manta, Heart. Every single time. Then I've been seeing more Diffusals being picked up time and time again. And I'm just like, but wouldn't the Heart just make you kind of impossible to kill? And you've got these really tanky illusions?
I think it goes both ways. So the Heart makes it so your illusions, all they have going for them is the Radiance burn basically, and then Riptide damage. So if the enemy team has the ability to like right-click your illusions to death, then you know they can just push the lanes out before your illusions get too much done because they only Radiance burn. But if you have a Diffusal, it gives your illusions, I mean, not more damage on the creeps really, but it gives them a long, which they don't really need because the Radiance burn is enough and Riptide is enough for creeps. But against heroes, if there's a hero like man fighting your illusions in a lane, he actually gets destroyed.
Stampede goes off, and Ned, yeah, that may not be. I mean, he gets off the ultimate, but he gets destroyed by the Netherward in the process.
Yeah. But this game in particular, I think Heart would have been fine because Pain doesn't really have that much right-click potential on illusions. I mean, if he had a Heart, they're just going to sit and they'll be able to kill the lane before there's any way for the like heroes on Pain to kill off the illusions. So, I mean, it's fine either way, though. At this point, it's like he could buy a Dagon and they'd probably still win the game.
Dagon, I like that idea actually. Nagasiren, what's the cooldown on Dagon level 5? It goes down to 15 seconds.
Like 15, yeah.
Ah, okay. So I was thinking like you Dagon somebody, pop this Nagasiren, wait for the Dagon to come off cooldown again, but it's not that long.
It'd be pretty close if you had net and stuff.
Yeah. Kite him around for a while. Melee Rax
go down, yeah.
dies to just Pugna Blast and illusions at this point.
Yeah, I expect Dream Destroyers to basically just continuously push for the rest of the game now. I don't think they're very afraid of anything.
See that Diffusal doing its work on Baga.
Yep, it's even if you don't kill the person, you burn a lot of their mana. It's just super annoying, especially if you're trying to fight them outside of the base or push the lanes far out. Then you have to just go back to Fountain every time you get mana burn, basically, unless you have some with Arcane Boots or something to give you mana.
Top lane
Liquid
tier
Fire,
3 is already
Pugna
so low.
Blast. I think the Pugna could actually walk up and do it as long as he's like careful to turn around. But it is a little more dangerous, and I think they just want to play it careful right now.
Yeah, if they just prepared with like the masked force staffs, he's got one, Rubik's got one, Skywrath Mage also has one.
Dire's bottom tower
Yeah,
is
they
under
could
attack.
very easily just the initiate comes out from the centaur and they just force staff him away. The mass Venomancer wards are gonna go for Bloody 9. Actually pops his BKB before that lands on him. King RD is gonna be force staff away, but the Pugna Blast will still finish off this tier 3 tower. And really, the real push hasn't even begun yet, which is currently waiting on the bottom lane, which once again was pushed all the way into the Radiance, the Radiance side of the base. But Justin has been catching some of these creeps as they come in. Finally, the wave will push into the bottom lane, and now they can have a push on all 3 lanes. As long as Justin makes sure he has an illusion on every single lane, or at least these other 2 lanes, the push is consistent and does not stop.
Yeah, I would really like to see them do like a full team split push right now, actually, because between the Naga illusions, the bots on Naga, and like their 2 supports and their 2 cores, they could actually just have each one siege each side of the map, and whichever one doesn't have Venomancer wards is going to be like way easier to do. So they just push with the Naga illusions, siege the tower with Liquid Fire and the Nether Blast, and then they have force staves and like Yules and stuff to bail people out if they get jumped by Centaur, and then they have Naga sleep also, so you can teleport on like incoming creep waves and just sleep to get people out of trouble. Looks like they're just gonna go for Roche though, which probably smarter, safer play at this point.
Yeah.
But they can definitely split push like very easily with their full lineup with like 2 heroes on each side.
Dire's courier
40R is going to be running into some trouble as he tried to go into the Invoker pit, but ends up getting caught by the Rubik.
Yep.
And
That should be a Roche, and after that they can basically just like walk into the base and take a fight, I think.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect them to give this to Naga.
yeah, it's
Probably, I think Pugna, because Jakiro is really not dying.
no, he's really not with the Shiva's pickup now. And well, Halberd is a nice thought here for the Bristleback. Not sure what that's going to do to this team, since we don't really have
Yeah, that's kinda
right-clicking heroes.
interesting.
has fallen to the radiant.
Like, Justin is your biggest right-clicking hero, but he doesn't do it with his hero. He does it with illusions. Maybe the Jakiro is actually more effective for the Halberd at this point than the Naga Siren. Which
Dodge the
goes to
liquid
show
fire.
how bad this Halberd is, probably.
Yeah, I think he just wanted some HP, it's like some cheap HP at this point, but I mean, there's not too much they can do. They do have Blink on Enigma now. He's had that for a little bit, but it's gonna take really bad positioning from Dream Destroyers in order for him to get like a Blink Black Hole off. And they still have Naga too, where like the Naga can obviously bail them out with sleep, or if he's already there, he can just net to break it.
Yeah.
They have a lot of ways to actually deal with an Enigma.
He's finishing up his butterfly. So apparently, they want like a full 6-slotted Naga Siren before they end this game. Because as you said it, they just split push. Or with the Aegis, if they just go and fight. Instead, it's going to be an opportunity for Pain to be able to get a really good fight here. The Black Hole goes off, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough to already silence up. He didn't pop his BKB earlier. Now the turnaround Black Hole, not quite enough. Instantly gets stunned. Fanny almost had a beautiful one there. Baga is going to try and chase down MGW. They just need a little bit of extra damage, and they will be able to get it too. MGW loses his Aegis. Farther up, we have Bloody 9, who's going to be surrounded here by the Ice Wall and everything else, and will be taken down. Back to MJW. They're trying to go on him again here, and they just cannot finish him off quite yet. The Decrepify, not quite enough. Silence on Baga will be able to finish him off here. MJW, oh, the little bit extra. He needs more damage. The Decrepify is just doing so much work for him. Now a little bit extra, and finally gets enough right-click damage in from the side of Klotz. Meanwhile, they've lost their bottom racks. Justin is going in now to finish off the rest of these very low health heroes, such as Ned, who's going to be cleaned up by the Riptide. And as they run back to base, they're all too low to actually fight Justin. And Justin will actually pop his ultimate with the buyback that happens, turns around, and is going to try and finish off King RD with the Diffusal. A little bit of Radiance Burn damage, does get it in the end. Justin now fighting up against Klotz. The disarm goes out. GG is finally called by
The
King
1v5,
RD.
yeah. When you're getting 1v5, that's when you know it's time to GG out.
Yep.
But I mean, that's the problem is even if they did get a decent fight, like they'd have to leave their base to do it, and then they just get backdoored. Or if Naga was there, that fight would have gone very differently. So Unfortunate. Very verse of the other one. No, now they're complaining about servers, but that's standard Dota.
Yep, and that means we are now bringing the night to a close. So, Pandago, thank you very much for joining me. You guys can follow him at Pandago Dota. You got anything else, man?
Nope. That's it. Thanks for having me, and it was pretty interesting.
No. Thank you for coming
No
on.
problem.
And at Dota Capitalist from me, guys, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Toby will be here starting Join Dota Red up and very early on in the morning, as I believe 8 CEST is the current starting time for the Cine Cup. That is going to be IG versus Vici Gaming. So you will not want to miss out on that. IG and Vici Gaming both lost their matches and are now fighting for elimination. So one of those teams is actually getting knocked out of the Cine Cup because they both kind of screwed the pooch on their brackets. So they are fighting up against each other, and I'll be back at 17 CEST for the ESL 1 with MYM versus Power Rangers, followed up by Fnatic versus NVMI. So thanks so much. We'll see you guys next time on the live stream.